Today, somebody asked me a question. How can we solve all the problems of our life? There are so many problems. How do you solve the problems? So I said, let's divide the problems into three types. Problems faced by the mind, problems faced by the body, and problems faced by the ego. The easiest to understand is the problem faced by the ego. Because I think I'm different from you, there is hate, there is anger, there is jealousy, there is revenge. The big problem. The problem of the mind, fear, worry, stress, anxiety, depression. And the simplest of all problems, the problem of the body, what you face today in Corona, COVID. The problem of the body can be solved through medicine. For example, there are mosquitoes. If there are mosquitoes, the problem can be solved by spray or an ointment or even lighting a coil. But some people will be bitten by mosquitoes from the time they come out and the time they are in the open, and they don't escape the mosquitoes because of the problem is caused because of only one thing. And the one solution to all problems is we have to overcome our ignorance. And we will overcome our ignorance by what is known as enlightenment. The solution to all problems is enlightenment. So this is the answer to the one who had asked me a question. Some people are shy to ask questions, but I always request you all, don't feel shy. Because if you want to benefit in this session of question and answers, then you must ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, then you will not have that journey to ask, to investigate, and to realize the truth. So ask questions. Don't be embarrassed. Don't worry about what anybody thinks about your questions. Because your questions are your life. And what is important to you is your life. So Administrator, are we ready to start? Questions?
Questions, Samita.
Samita, the first question from Samita. Yes, Samita.
Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham.
So I want to know, why is it that some people are continuously facing problems, maybe in health issue, financially. It's like one after the other, something hits them. But whereas in this life, they have not done anything. As far as I know, they are not done anything wrong in this life. Is it something of their past life?
Yes.
They're totally drained.
So what happens? Suppose you go to your garden and you see one bush of thorns. Then you go after the next day, you see another bush of thorns. The third day, you see another 4 bushes of thorns. So is it some magic, or do you think that many thorn seeds have been planted? If there was one bush of thorns, one seed is planted. Then the next day, you see another bush. It's not that bushes are multiplying. Our problems are not multiplying on their own. The problems that happen in this life are a reaction. Just like the seed that we plant decides the fruit on the tree, the deed that we plant decides the destiny. There's nothing like luck. There's no such thing. So when you say something, people are emotionally drained, they are financially drained, it is their own action that's coming back. There is no other option in this world. It is not that this whole world of 8 billion people is unfolding as per luck. There's nothing like luck. Everything that is so-called destiny is a law of action and reaction. So therefore, when something happens in our life, we have to learn to accept it. Because if we don't accept it, we are not accepting the law that this is a reaction. So we must, and if we don't accept it, then we will be disgruntled, then our action will be bad. Again, that reaction will come back to us, which is bad. Therefore, we must ensure to accept whatever happens in this world. We have to accept.
So you have to accept and surrender. Is it?
Surrender, yes. Surrender is you accept whatever is happening and you surrender to what will happen.
Okay.
Because if you don't, and if you don't do that, then you're going to suffer even more. Because then you're going to question why it happened, why this happened, why am I suffering? Why are you questioning? Whatever you did, you're getting back the reaction to that. That is the law. Okay. Yes. Next
Thank you.
question. Thank you,
Thank you.
Namita.
Next, Sudeep.
Sudeep Bhargava,
Shivam sir.
Shivoham.
Sir, I would like to get some practical tips on how we can sharpen our intellect, which is finally going to be used for the discrimination. So any practical tips on how we can, some daily kind of tips that you can share with
So
me?
probably, probably it is practice. Probably it is practice means that if it is just like a sword. If you keep a sword for a long time, it will get rusted. But if you keep on using, you brandish the sword, you use it, you sharpen, you use it, you sharpen, you use it, you sharpen, it remains sharp. The point is, so the idea is that we have to sharpen our intellect through regular practice. For example, you asked me a practical tip, right? So if you don't, suppose there's a challenge in your life today, something is happening. So if you let the mind bulldoze you, then your intellect has become dull. But every time you defeat the mind, every time you shoot down the mind, you keep on practicing with the mind. How does a cricketer become good in cricket? He keeps on practicing. Every day he takes a bat and the ball and he practice. So you also must practice with the intellect. So you must also constantly discriminate. So constantly asking questions, constantly investigating. That is the way to do it. You constantly ask, investigate. You try to continue the process. Don't stop. So that is the best thing. Otherwise,
So there's one more related.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, please continue, sir. No, nothing.
I'm sure. Continue your question, please.
Okay, no, there was one related question. So if we have time, if you can just answer it. You told me some months back that try to control the thoughts in the sense that thoughts should not become an action. Then thoughts will not be considered as karma. So to an extent, I have been able to do that, but that thought keeps coming back to me. So has it something to do that I need to sharpen my intellect further? Obviously, I need to do it, but is it a kind of a symptom that is that my intellect is not good enough right now?
No, so not because of intellect not being good. It's good. It's about how
I'm able to control the.
It is for you to reflect at the end of the day how many times your thought bypassed your intellect. So maybe it's a good practical idea to keep a book, keep a notebook, or keep a note in your laptop or in your mobile phone. How many thoughts escaped your intellect and made you regret? How many times you got angry today? How many times you were not able to control the mind and ego? Because if you are able to control the mind and ego, then your intellect is sharp. You don't need to. It's already sharp enough. But every time you lost to the mind and ego, it becomes a reason for you to practically note. So, example, today you got irritated. You got irritated because your cook did not prepare the food properly. So it became a practical tip. You made note of it. I got irritated because my cook did not cook the food properly. The next time she doesn't cook the food properly, you don't get irritated.
Irritation only. Yeah, please, sir, please continue.
No, so suppose you shout at the cook. I know people telling the cook, तुम्हारे के पास दिमाग नहीं है क्या? कहाँ गया तुम्हारा दिमाग? Have you heard people telling like this? बुद्धि ला, ये नो बुद्धि इंगे दिया. Have you heard people saying that? So what is that? That is a reaction. That is not that we should. What is the point of saying बुद्धि नहीं है? कहाँ गया तुम्हारा बुद्धि? No, that's not. That shows हमारा बुद्धि नहीं है. That shows we have lost our buddhi. So you gently.
If I keep the anger to myself, will that be like?
Yes, you control the anger. You see, you try to understand. You ask the cook, why did you not put salt? You ask the cook, when I told you yesterday not to put chili, why you put chili? The cook will say, I thought you said the chili was very less, so I put double chilies. You say, no, I told not to put the chili. Then you ask the question again, what did I tell you? Be sure that the cook has understood you. They may be having a hearing deficiency. They may be having a thinking deficiency. So this is all part of the drama. And in this drama, you have to try to Be a master of your senses. Again, next is your senses. Are you a master of your senses, or is the sense? The sense is the master. This is another way of you a practical tip of your life. Because if the senses are getting the better of you, then your intellect is not effective. So all these things, Sudeep. For example, you become greedy. You're eating. What do you eat, Sudeep? What's your favorite food? What is your favorite food? Sudeep, are you frozen? Okay, I can't see Sudeep. Can you all hear me? Sudeep, I asked you what is your favorite
No, I
food?
think
What is your favorite food?
mine is the same as yours, sir. Masala dosa.
So if you eat one masala dosa, I think you're quite full for breakfast. If you're having lunch, you can have 2 masala dosas,
Yes.
for example. But suppose you eat 3,
Yes.
and suppose after eating 3, somebody brought one more and says, "Sir, but this is free," and you eat 4. So what does it mean? Your intellect succeeded or your intellect failed?
Yeah, if I was not hungry, then it's failing because
No, not even if you're not
when my
hungry.
health is
If you eat 4 means so this is the problem. You don't need more than 1,000 calories for lunch. Each dosa is about 500 calories. You don't need more than 1,000 calories. So you should not eat like that. Okay, so that's how you practice. Next, administrator, next question.
lalach hoga, sir. Because of the lalach, I might have the 4th also.
Then you need a lot of practice with your intellect.
Navjot Singh.
Navjot, you unlock and ask your question, please.
Shivam, sir.
Shivoham.
Sir, if our source is the same, then why is our karma different?
If our source.
Source, from where we come and where we go.
Yeah, source is the same, but the karma is different because the karma is not from the source. The source is the soul. The karma doesn't belong to the soul. Suppose your source, you and Sudeep, both of you are Atma. But the mind and ego of yours and the mind and ego of Sudeep is different.
So the
source,
karma is because of the ego.
the karma is not because of the source or the soul. The karma is because of the mind and ego, me. The karma is because of the ignorance. Because we are ignorant that we are the mind, that we are the body, mind, and ego. Therefore, the suffering is different. The karma is different. If we realize we are the source, the soul, then we are free from all karma. Then there is no karma because we become the instrument. See, let me tell you, as long as we don't understand this, we don't realize the truth, we will continue to suffer and suffer and suffer. There is no other option. The only option of freedom from misery is the ability to overcome our ignorance. We have to overcome our ignorance. There is no option. Otherwise, we will really suffer in life.
All right.
Administrator, next question.
Ashok Chotwani.
Yes, Ashok.
Shivam, sir.
Shivoham.
A very beautiful view, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it's becoming as a sunset. As the sunset, I'm looking, it's becoming more and more beautiful.
Very, very beautiful. Sir, my question is, being on the path of enlightenment,
Yeah.
what should we do so that we can live the life of Satchit Anand?
So very good question, Ashok. Let me explain in detail. We must all understand this state of Sat Chit Anand. The state of Sat Chit Anand means Sat, truth, Chit, consciousness, Anand, bliss. On the path of enlightenment, we must overcome ignorance and realize the truth. So that's the first step. The first step is Satya. For example, Satya, I am not this body. Satya, I am not this mind. We must understand the truth. Death is certain. Then last time we spoke, my birthday is not my birthday. We spoke, my ID card is not my ID card. Everything in my ID card is fake. We spoke. So this is Satya. But Satya is not enough. We need Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. We have to be conscious of the Satya. which means if the mind tricks us, then although we know the Satya, although we know that we should not be miserable, we still remain miserable. Although we know that we should not have negative thinking, we are still negative thinking. This means we understand the Satya. Many people on this call, they have known me for 10 years, 20 years, they understand all the Satya. But there is no Chitta. Chitta means consciousness. So Sat Chit, if there is Satya Chit, then there is Ananda. Ananda means there is bliss. Correct? So we have to transcend the ignorance. So there's a bhajan which says, Sat ke chit mein rehta, Ananda mein rehta, Satchidananda हाल है जो, सच का एहसास है करना, आनंदा में रहता, जो सत्य का चित करता, जो सत्य का चित करता है अशोक, which means we must be conscious of the truth. You must be conscious you are not Ashok Chotwani. Your name is Ashok Chotwani. You must be conscious that any moment you may die, but you must be happy. If God calls me, I'm ready to go. If you don't realize the truth, then you will be very unhappy. You'll be very scared. Oh, what will happen to my family? What will happen to my money? Arey, trust God, man. Trust God. He is the one who's controlling this whole world. 8 billion people, the whole earth is rotating. Nothing is happening. It's perfect. Nothing goes wrong. One morning, you don't wake up in the morning and the sun has disappeared. No chance. He is perfect. He knows how to run the show. So what Samita said, we have to learn to surrender. This is exactly surrender. Kesara, Sara, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Kesara, Sara. So we have to let go. We are not able to let go. Ashok, the problem is we are not able to let go. That is the problem. So, and remember, this process is not like this. It's not a snap of a finger. This process is continuous. We have to go on and go on and go on. We have to continue working hard till we reach the ultimate goal. Realize we are the soul. That is
enlightenment.
Then you reach.
Thank you.
You reach that state of enlightenment.
Yes, one day we reach it.
Yes, please. Who's next?
Agarwal.
Shivam sir, good evening. Very good evening to you.
Shivoham, good evening. Bolo Harsh.
Sir, my question was yesterday 50% body, 50% okay. You said study wave particle theory. I studied it. That light forms, particle and energy.
I can't hear you, Harsh. You have to repeat. Your voice is getting cracked. Please repeat. What is your
Okay, now
question?
you hear.
Yeah, what is
Sir,
your
my
question?
asking my yesterday question. Yesterday I asked you that 50% soul and 50% body. I think. You remember now?
Yeah, I told you no, it's not
Then you
50% soul. No, I did not. I corrected that, correct?
No, you told me to study wave particle theory. I studied that, but I cannot relate it.
Okay, so what is your question today? Repeat. What you want? You have a new question today?
I have new also, but it's a bit lengthy one. I don't want to consume so much time. Okay. Yes. Okay. It's 40 degrees Celsius. Okay. I was drinking fruit yesterday, and a thought came to my mind. Okay, I am eating by my mouth, but because of the sweet taste, my soul getting happy. So don't think there is a connection between body and soul. Just like virus connecting some electric.
What is your question, Harsh?
My question is that is there any connection between body and soul?
Is there any connection?
Yes.
Yes. The body appears to be the 5 elements of earth, air, water, fire, and space.
Yes.
But ultimately, the body is, every cell of the body is nothing but energy. And it is the soul energy
Sure.
that makes the body appear. The moment the soul comes out, the body falls dead. There's nothing left. That is the connection. Okay. Pushpa, can we ask Kiran? She's been asking for last 3 days question. Can we call Kiran Kathuria on?
Sure.
Kiran Kathuria. Yes, Kiran. You are unmuted. You are unmuted. Please tell us your question. Yes, please speak, Kiran.
Shivoham, Pranam
Shivoham.
Guruji. I have
Pranam.
already asked you. But one thing I want to say, Monday program, you were so peaceful. I don't have words to express. And you were sending peacefulness to all of us. And really, I'm very thankful for that. We were really in such Chetanam. I asked you the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was on Monday, the bhajan you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I thought you had some pending questions for last 2-3 days, so I did not want to miss you out.
Okay. So thank you. God bless.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So do we have any more questions for today?
Next, Veena.
Veena, a question from Veena, please.
Namaste, Master.
Namaskar.
Master, from last 1 year, you answered many times for this question. Still, I have that attitude in myself. So, forgive and forget. You to explain many times about this, but sometimes I can forgive them, but I couldn't forget the situations. How to handle this attitude, Master?
See, Veena, I'm happy that you're being honest and telling us that you are able to forgive in the moment, but you're not able to forget. It's very
Yes.
good to be honest, first of all, because if you are not honest, then we
Yes,
cannot
Master.
solve the problem, right? So
Yes.
let me explain to you why you are not able to forget. Because you are not deleting it from the mind, from the memory. You have to delete it from the memory. Suppose you have got a photograph in your mobile phone or your laptop. If you don't delete it from your recycle bin, it will be there only, no? You
Yes,
can
Master.
go back and collect. You can pull back that file from your computer or your mobile phone. It's there in the media. You
Yes.
have to delete it. Why are you even you are remembering that? You're carrying the grudge in your heart. You're forgiving because you think as a good dharma, as a good human being, you want to forgive. But your mind is not willing to forget. Your mind is not deleting it from memory. You have
What
to
happens now,
consciously.
Master?
Huh?
What happens now, Master? When I come across them or when I meet them, all of a sudden it represents on my face my anger, or I will keep silent, or I will go away from that place.
Try
So,
try to reverse it. For example, suppose I am not able to forgive you because I asked you to carry my laptop one day and you were carrying my laptop and you broke it. I can't look at your face only. I think of broken laptop. Every time I look at your face, I think of broken laptop.
yes, Master.
So I start liking you and I start talking to you with a little bit more love, more compassion. And next time when I see you, I joke with you and say, I'm not giving you my laptop today because I'm carrying my own laptop. But I don't see, I can't forget it, but I can convert it. I can convert it from a negative memory to a positive memory. At least that much we can do.
Yes, Master.
This is called, Veena, this is called consciousness. Consciousness means being aware. What is over, no, Veena. What is the
Yes.
point of remembering this again and again? How does it help, Veena? By remembering it, by not forgetting it, who is the loser? Who is becoming more miserable?
Me
You are
only.
becoming more miserable. That
Yes, Master.
person whom you are not able to forgive, that person is laughing. That person is least bothered. Ayo, go man. That person is least bothered. But you are losing your peace of mind.
Yes.
So you have to, this is again what Sudeep said, using your intelligence. A lot
Yes.
of people, I don't know whether you have heard the Jain story. The Jains, they've got something called Shama Divas. I think Lavina and Ranveer will be knowing it in Rajasthan. It is very famous. So in Shama Divas, that the person every day, once a year, there's a particular day that you go to that person and you tell that person, see, I've been upset about you. I've not been able to forgive you for this thing. And today I want to forgive you. Today you tell them on the face, I want to forgive you. Today I forgive you. I forgive you. Tell that person on the face, I was not able to forgive you. Have you been able to do that? No, you're not able to do that, right? When you look at that person, only hate comes. When you look at
Yes.
that person, no, that's not good, Novena. So you realize that every human being is a picture of God. If you realize that they're a picture of God, how can you hate God? Don't look at the outer skin. Don't look at what they look from outside. Look at the Atma inside. Huh? So you have
Yes,
to,
Master.
you have got to, the Jains call it Nishkama. I think that Pratima has put the explain in the chat. She's put the name of that Divas. So it's a very good thing to forgive all the people, because then you eliminate the grudge from your heart. You eliminate the hate, the revenge, the anger. You remove it not just by forgiving, you delete it, you eliminate it from your heart. Yes, Administrator, how many more questions do we have?
No more questions there.
Okay, good. So if anybody has questions, we have 2 or 3 minutes more before I wind up. Otherwise, I'll close in 2 or 3 minutes. So my dear friends, this journey of life.
Can I?
I have a question.
Yes, who is it?
Avinash
Avinash.
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
Avinash.
So what I understand, like whenever if something I'm facing as a failure or somewhere I am not able to take a decision, so is it that I'm carrying my past along with me, as means the self-limiting beliefs? Why those beliefs are with me? The self-limiting. I know that I can, means I am self, I can do it, but I do see that I have self-limiting belief. So where those beliefs are coming from? That is the thing.
Okay, it's not a very spiritual question, but it's a question of good life. So let's see. I think it's thought becomes feeling, becomes action, becomes habit.
Okay.
So we have created habits in our life. So you make it a habit. So you have to reverse that habit, because now you've already made certain habits. For example, self-limitation. So sometimes you challenge yourself and you overcome it one time. If you overcome it one time, then you'll build the confidence. Sometimes it's very good to have a life coach. You discuss, because you have to discuss the problem in detail with your life coach.
Okay.
So if there's a spiritual mentor or a life mentor, you put your problem to the life mentor and you put, these are my limiting beliefs. What are the, for example, I feel I can't do it, although I can do it.
Yes.
I have no optimism. I have no confidence. I have no faith in myself. So, so then if you have a coach, a guide, a mentor, then they will guide you. Then they will look at the issue and they will tell you where you are going wrong. But
okay.
Avinash, let me tell you one thing. If you are able to spend time in silence and you are able to discover the power that's inside you, the soul power, then the soul can do anything.
Okay.
If you just spend time in silence. Are you spending time in silence every day, morning, evening, or no?
Yeah, morning time I am doing at least for half an hour. Yeah.
Okay. Try evening also.
Okay, sure.
So that silence will build what is called consciousness. And you can use your superconscious mind to connect to the universe. So try. Silence is a beautiful method, but also then try the help of a life coach.
Sure.
Because this has to be, we have to get into the detail of the problem. What is the self-limiting behavior? Why is that behavior coming? What is the cause? What is the source of that? What is the source? Because you have to cut the root. If you don't cut the root, then the same shoot and the same fruit will come again and again. You have to remove the root.
You. Yes.
Okay. So anybody else before we wind up?
Thank you so much.
No one else, sir. That's it.
So, no, because sometimes people are waiting to see there is no question and then they want to ask the question. They don't want to be in a queue to ask the question. So my dear friends, it's when I always take 2 minutes to wind up this question answer session, because it's my sincere effort to help you to realize the truth. It is my sincere effort to help you find enlightenment. It is my sincere effort to help you overcome the misery, to overcome the ignorance. We human beings, we are living with ignorance and we suffer. We suffer physical pain, like I said today when I started, physical pain, misery of the mind, agony of the ego. We think life is so miserable, there are so many problems. We feel there are more and more and more problems. But the reality is there are many problems, but there is one solution to all problems. One solution. And that one solution is when we overcome our ignorance. We are not realizing we are all unhappy. We are all unhappy either by the mind or the ego or the body. Either we are having financial problems, or we are having physical problems, or we are having mental issues. How do you overcome all these problems? By realizing we are not the body, mind, and ego. We are the divine soul. Now you know it. I'm telling you, you know it. But knowledge is not realization. You have to realize it. It has to go deep within you. When you experience that you are the divine soul, you achieve the ultimate goal. You are free from all misery and suffering. And every day, you will not realize, every day, some question will lead you forward. Some people ask, what is yoga? Some people ask, today somebody asked, Ashok Chotwani said, what is Sat Chit Anand? Such an important question. Sometimes people ask about reincarnation, about rebirth. Sometimes people ask about God. I think tomorrow is Friday, right? So tomorrow we have a Zoom call at 7:30. And then the question answer will be at 8. But we have at 7:30, we have a short 30 minutes talk on, do you know who God really is? You pray to God. But tomorrow first I will talk. You have to hear me for 30 minutes, or you have to shut down and come back at 8 o'clock to ask questions. But tomorrow I will try to speak, because I myself, I prayed to a God for 40 years. And after 40 years, I realized I was Buddhu. Huh? I wrote one song at that time. I said, जो बुद्धि से नहीं पर जो मन से काम करते, लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. Huh? So we don't use the buddhi, we use the man. And then I was praying to a God for 40 years. After 40 years, I realized that this God is not really the God that is God. God is everything. God is this God, and God is all the God. Today I was in Kashmir. In Kashmir, I'll take 30 seconds more and share this with you. And more of this, please ask me tomorrow, because it's very interesting. I spent 3 hours talking to a Maulvi. I spent 3 hours talking to Maulvi Bashir in the Dal Lake. And he told me all about the Quran. La ilaha Allah. I'm not La ilaha illallah. So he told me some things. And so I don't know how many of you are familiar with all this. And I have spent years trying to understand all this. Understanding fairies and understanding the day of Qiyamah. And there's so many things. And tomorrow we will talk of this. But what I'm telling all of you is, every day is an experience to learn. And sometimes when I travel, I try to improve my understanding of so many things, meet so many people. And then I share with you all my learnings. So tomorrow we will be meeting at 7:30. Do you know who God really is? 30 minutes a talk and 30 minutes ask air. Shivoham, I thank you for being present today. God bless you.